Well, third time might be a charm here with these AAA studios and extraction shooters, as we now have Bungie stepping into the fold with a surprising, dedicated focus to the game, aka this isn't a side thought or copy pasta like Hazard Zone or DMZ, this is the game that they are focusing on, with specifically a PvP focus with dedicated servers, dedicated security team, disconnect recovery, evolving world that sounds extensive, stacked on the usual loss on death extraction shooter stuff. It seems to all be there, but there is a long way to go. Just last night, we got an announcement from Bungie that they will be the third AAA studio to take a swing at the extraction shooter genre with their project Marathon. Since it is an extraction shooter, I feel obligated to cover what I can here on the channel, so I'll break down what we have so far. TLDR, they seem to have everything in order so far for an interesting PvP-focused extraction shooter from a AAA studio. What's a first here, again, is that this is their dedicated project, something that was obviously not present in Battlefield's or Call of Duty's attempts. Those were very much side thoughts from their main focus. Now, Marathon is at least a full year away at minimum in my book. However, they did not give any dates. They just said generalizations of time. I'll leave the ViDoc in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourself. They talk about it at the end there. Now, the reason I'm saying at least a year, really in my mind it's a couple years away, is because they are going to be, quote, going dark for a while for an extended period of time, and they are currently, quote, working towards alpha. So those are two different people from two different points in the ViDoc. But when you put that together, when they get back from this extended period of time of nothing, they'll have gameplay to show at the end of it. Throughout the ViDoc, you could tell nothing was solid yet. They have the core gameplay loop, and they are going to be testing it before pushing it through to any kind of final state. And put all that together, I don't see this game coming this year or next year based off of that. If they are further along than I think, then maybe Christmas next year at the earliest. There is some very interesting aspects to this game that were talked about in the ViDoc, where I think there will be a boss or something that serves as a boss or significant obstacle they called the compactor. While the reason for leaving does seem to be associated with time, however, it's not the same amount of time for everyone, it seems, and we saw this through one of the last clips in the trailer. There's very clearly a countdown on this player's backpack, which almost reaches 0, and then they get killed by someone who doesn't seem worried about their time at all. Potentially extract camping here, but maybe this was AI. I'm not exactly sure. They do look to be a little bit different, so it could be AI. We saw no real combat at all because there was no real gameplay. We don't know if it will be bullet sponge or what, but Bungie usually has games with overshields and stuff like that. And if you guys play Destiny or Halo, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I'd like to assume there's going to be a bit of damage that you're going to be able to take in some kind of shield system or armor system. I don't see this being a quick time to kill unless you're working with something heavy like a sniper rifle. That should be a one-shot kill, especially if you hit him in the head or something like that. But that's just speculation. Something else that I thought was interesting was the world development. They said that players will be able to work through mysteries and obstacles in the game to unlock new zones, whatever that means. Some people are assuming this is going to be like a raid where every season, because they did say there would be seasons, there will be something that players can work through or overcome to become the world's first something or other to do it and be recognized for it. And to be clear, that's like World of Warcraft or Destiny raids, not Escape from Tarkov raids. Those are like super important. You got bosses you got to fight through. They take hours to complete, stuff like that. When specifically talking about this subject, one of the devs said, quote, what runners are doing is going to be that exciting narrative that unfolds over the course of a season. Imagine if one crew happens to find an alien key, they place it on this altar, then they get memorialized for opening up the next zone. Then they have to go and figure out how to unlock that for everyone else, end quote. So there's clearly some very advanced world building and story here that the community will fight for, and I'm really interested to see what that looks like. Really, the only question that's left here is how are they going to stop the cheaters, and they say that they're going to have dedicated servers with a dedicated security team in Fog of War. Now, I know Fog of War as the gray smoke and the parts of the map that you haven't explored yet in an RTS game, but I don't actually know what it would mean as a deterrent for cheaters, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. In my mind, especially with right now, with the games and the struggles that we're having right now, if the game is going to revolve around PvP with crazy achievements that will, quote, memorialize you, then whoever does it better be legit, or else this thing is going to be a hard flop. Maybe they can pivot if it doesn't work out, because we got a long way to go here before we get anything real on it, so I'll keep an eye out and let you guys know more once I do. Now, since this video wasn't about Tarkov, I'm hopefully assuming that you guys have assumed that we're still waiting on Tarkov news as well, but you guys already know. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord for the minute-by-minute stuff with that. Like the video if you did, sub for more, comment what you think, and check out my other channels for other games right here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.